Here you go, guys, another video. Tina's at work, Amy's at school, and Gemma's at her friend's house, so thought I'd make a video and sort of catch everybody up with where we're up to. Start with this, I suppose. It's a kid's bed. I've got it all pulled apart outside there everywhere because when I was dropping Amy off at school, Bear decided that he would go to the toilet on the top of the kid's bed, and so you got to pull all the bedding apart, which in a caravan is a pain in the butt to take the fitted sheet and the mattress protector and everything off of that, and be too big to put in the caravan washing machine, so be off to the laundromat to bloody wash the kids' sheets to start off with. I got this other little problem as well, but yeah, I'll give you a look at where we've been living and what we've been up to. And yeah, so sort of catch up for people that haven't watched the channel since I had a lawn care business in southeast Queensland, or in Morayfield, southeast Queensland, and sort of after 4 years I got to a bit over 300 clients, and been through a whole bunch of stuff, so I decided that it wasn't worth gambling the money on another year of, are we going to make the money back, or are we going to be locked into this for years to try and get our money back? So I decided to put the money in the bank and just go and see where we end up. Originally I was going to move to Penrith and the western suburbs of New South Wales to help look after my grandfather that has Parkinson's disease, and sort of his situation escalated, and now he's in a nursing home. All the COVID lockdowns and everything came back on again, and we sort of decided that New South Wales wasn't our cup of tea, and came back to Queensland. I was on Facebook Marketplace and I was looking for a boat to put on the roof of the car, and this block of land came up for $9,000, and I was like, what? You can buy land for $9,000? I ended up paying $30,000, but the land for $9,000, you'll spend $20,000 to ever be able to have like a livable house there. So you kind of learn things as you get looking into what different land is and where it is and all that sort of thing, and what facilities they have. Looking to purchase a block of land to probably sit on with our caravan, but to eventually settle in that place wherever the block of land would be at. And so we got back across the Queensland border, but all our white goods and everything, my mowing trailer and all the mowing equipment that we kept and everything that we kept is still in the storage in Penrith in New South Wales. So we're currently in Bundaberg. We've been in Bundaberg for about 2 months, I'd say now. Basically we went down to New South Wales, we made it as far as Katoomba in the Blue Mountains, so actually Blackheath, a little bit higher up the Blue Mountains than Katoomba, and then they said we had X amount of days to get out of New South Wales, or we wouldn't be allowed back into Queensland, and I think we made it like the night before the day that it was closing at midnight, so we made it about 24 hours before the border was hard locked, and it's been months now and they still haven't opened it, so we've just been in Bundaberg here, but we've done so much stuff that we've had to sit in one place anyways for all this time. So I'll sort of update you on everything that's happened as we go. Came up to Bundaberg to buy a fridge, but also we were looking at cheap blocks of land, which are all sort of situated in the west of Brisbane and in the country regions, you know, around 300 to 400 kilometers from the city centre. And the ones that we were looking at that were, you know, that were closer to Toowoomba and stuff like that, places like Dalby and Chinchilla and those areas, but there was also places near Bundaberg. So we organised to look at some land up near Bundaberg, and we headed north and came up to Bundaberg. Eager as I was, I'd spoken to some real estates and realised that sort of cheap blocks of land were being snapped up. I inquired about 6 or 7 that we couldn't even view because they were already under some sort of negotiation or whatever like that, that's not listed on the internet until well after it's all said and done. So there was 3 or 4 in this one town, and so I was itching to get out there, so we headed out there, and then in real life, and just the whole serenity of the town and the history and everything like that, I just instantly wanted her, and didn't have phone reception. Couldn't call her up and say, yeah, I want this one. So straight away next day packed up and raced back to wherever we got phone reception to call the real estate, and couldn't get hold of her because it was like Saturday or whatever, and they're working on a farm roping cattle or whatever they do in the country, and so that's when the problem started for me. So yeah, then it was really on. I really wanted this block of land, and couldn't get hold of the real estate, and I'm packing myself that someone that knows what they're doing, experienced in the real estate market's gonna snap it up before I even get a chance to tell them that I want it. And so we proceeded to come into Bundaberg and replace our fridge, and we bought a new fridge, and we pulled up over East Bundaberg, a caravan park that I'd stayed at between houses, 10-11 years ago when I lived in Bundaberg, and like all places around here is under new management or whatever, so it was no advantage to us to have known the people that managed the caravan park previously or whatever, but we stayed there for 2 weeks and then came over to North Bundaberg. And so North Bundaberg, that's where we're predominantly at now. We've been going between here and the block of land that we ultimately purchased, but most of the struggles of buying the block of land was encountered while we stayed at East Bundaberg. So I'll tell that story first and get everyone up to speed with where we're at with what we're doing. So we've gone from the block of land that we want to buy back into Bundaberg and set up at the East Bundaberg Caravan Park, and I think it's called the Apollo Caravan Park. We've set up there, and from there we've made contact with the real estate and proceeded to attempt to buy the block of land that we had looked at. So we made contact with the real estate, and we loved the block. Who do we pay the money to? Yeah, so I recall something like sending a text message saying that I like the block, I'm willing to pay what they're asking, what's the details so I can pay for it, and she gets back to us that we don't accept cash, blah blah blah. I want to buy this block. Can we pay a deposit or something? And what did I say? What are your details so I can pay a deposit, and what's the procedure to get it under contract? She gets back to me and she says that you can pay X amount of a deposit, but you will need someone to represent you legally. She's doing up a contract and she can send it across, blah blah blah. We printed out all the contract and signed all the little corners and everything like that and sent it all back, and she called us back and she said, oh, you need to have a solicitor or a lawyer or whatever to represent you for your conveyancing. You can't just do it yourself. And so then I had to call around and find a conveyancer that would deal with the council where the block was situated. And then that's when I realised all the trouble that I could have got in had they have just accepted my money. When I was like, oh, I'm willing to pay, what's the bank details, and I'll pay it now. I could have got into like a whole bunch of strife. But through having conveyancing and all that sort of thing, it costs a lot more money than what you think it will, but through having that, they do checks and everything like that and make sure that you're not going to get yourself, you can go and pay money to then owe like double that money to the local council or something like that. So all the things in place, now I know how it works and everything, all the things in place are sort of like there to protect you as the buyer. But you just assume that, for a real estate to have it listed, that all those things would be in order. But there's obviously some really dodgy people out there, and you can get in some really bad situations. So yeah, be careful when you're like buying things, even if it's like a super good deal and you think that you need to jump on it or whatever. Make sure you have like all the right legal representation and everything like that, because otherwise you'll be like me and be an absolute complete rookie. And so then we paid the deposit. That was just a bank transfer, like with internet banking, and we paid that. And then the conveyancers deal with it from then on. And so they call you up and they say, come in on Wednesday and sign these contracts or whatever, and go in there. You choose how long you want the settlement to be. I was a rookie. I went for the fastest possible settlement, thinking that we needed to get building and get something built on this block of land before the year's out, because the government's given $45,000 in grants, which is probably a quarter of a house or a third of a house. Seems stupid to sleep and miss out on that. And so I was in this big hurry to get land and build on it. But the true reality of it is you need like 4 different council inspections for the various stages of building a house, plus we need to be connected up to like the main electricity grid, the main water, whatever you call it, network, the NBN network for the internet. We need to be connected to that. The sewerage needs to be connected up to the plumbing for the sewerage, and then like all your foundations and everything need to be inspected. All these different things before you can actually build a house. So it could take 2 or 3 years before we can even build a house anyways. So it was sort of silly to be in a hurry, because some of the tests that they do, it was like right to the wire for them coming back, whether they were going to be back in time for the settlement of the contract, because I only had a 14-day contract. But yeah, once everything's done like that, and then it's due to settle or whatever, and you go in and you pay the money into the trust fund of the conveyancing company, and then they actually pay the real estate for the block of land from there. And so you go into your local bank branch or whatever and tell them, look, I need to pay this Westpac account, and the guy uses every piece of equipment that they have in the bank branch there, like the little slidey thing, and he ripped a piece of paper and he split a piece of paper in half, and he'd like take 2 pieces of paper out of one slot and then put them into 2 different slots. And I think he used like every machine and apparatus that they had, and then he walked to some place far away, and then he came back and went into like every room that they had. And yeah, it was all just tapped my card on the ATM and typed in my PIN number, and it just sits there saying processing. And I thought, oh, here we go. And there's a big line forming up behind me and that. And God knows what the people in the line at the bank thought I was doing. But yeah, we paid for it all, and everything all went ahead. And then we're waiting to hear about settlement of the contract. And so on the day of settlement, we text the real estate and we say, oh, today's settlement, and have you got any news? And she says, no word on settlement. Oh no, what's going on? Turned out that they'd emailed like the main office or whatever instead of emailing her individual laptop or whatever. So settlement had all gone through at 2 o'clock, and it was not supposed to go through until like 5 or something. It says in the contract or whatever, but it was all said and done on the Friday afternoon like it's supposed to be. And what do you do now? It was like the 10th of September, and I just got the title last week. So settlement was on the 13th of August, and this all started on the 29th of July. So everything takes a long time to process, but all in the while the border's still closed. So now I own a quarter acre of Australia, which is normally the Australian dream. But also sport a whole bunch of grey hair, which for not getting a loan, not having a mortgage, not actually needing to go and get a job because I just spent all this money on a block of land. Don't know why I got them other than the worry of being ripped off and losing the money. So this is where we're set up. This is set up with the Franklin. And over there is the main amenities building between like 10 and 1. They clean the main amenities building, and so I have to go to this one over here on the eastern side. And you'll see in a minute, this bird yesterday made my head bleed. So I'll keep filming and I'll let you see if the bird attacks me today. Oh, here comes the bastard. Yeah, not bad. Are you watching out for that bird? He made my head bleed yesterday. Must have got me with its claws or something on my head. If you go close to those trees there near that toilet block. Yeah. Sure to fucking get me. There it is, okay. Oh, I made it. But yeah, it came after me, didn't it? So I made it back and I didn't get attacked by the bird. I just got whippersnake between all these caravans. And then that's my job for the day. So yeah, seeing now, I've fixed the kid's bed. I've done my mowing outside there. Now, just got to wait for school pickup time, but yeah, we're over here at Perry Street in North Bundaberg. The caravan park got washed away in the floods in 2013, so it's pretty much all been rebuilt for new. The park managers are just a young couple like us, so Tina cleans the little rental demountable buildings, and I mow the caravan sites, and we haven't paid rent for 3 weeks, so short of renting a house in the meantime, this is a good way of cutting overheads for us to just stay here and we're on a powered site, so we don't need the fact that the van's self-sufficient. But yeah, we're not paying for electricity, water, or the toilet or anything, so may as well stay here for as long as we can. And yeah, we'll get building on the block. But I'll leave you with a clip from the block of land. And this is a bit longer video, but I haven't made a video for so long that I thought you guys deserve a longer video. So whether you watch it, whether you don't, and my next video I'll give you a tour of the caravan and the setup that we've got. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks a lot. You've been a marvellous audience, and thank you very much for coming along.